Remember the Tea Party movement that gained popularity back during the Obama administration? Just a quick refresher. The Tea Party movement was a fiscally conservative political movement within the Republican Party. Now, the Tea Party generally stood for lower taxes, a balanced federal budget, and for reducing the national debt through decreased government spending. The Tea Party was a grassroots conservative movement and picked up a lot of steam and a lot of attention, and it picked up a lot of support throughout the country. And then it was attacked by the Obama administration. Do you remember the IRS targeting the Tea Party? Do you remember the IRS denying the tax-exempt status of Tea Party organizations, or the IRS demanding Tea Party donor lists? That's generally a violation of IRS policy, by the way. Well, if you think that was bad, just wait until you see what's coming next. What's coming next? Let's find out. This is JP with Political Pop Culture, and this is my take. I saw this really good piece over at WayneDupree.com this morning by a journalist by the name of Missy Crane. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I've never read any of Missy Crane's work before today. But this morning, I ended up reading about half a dozen of her stories, and I gotta tell you, I really like her work. She's got some great perspective, so check her out when you get a chance. Anyway, I thought this was a great story, and it's something that I've been thinking a lot about. In fact, I did a kind of a prelude to this story about the IRS is coming for you back on August 9th, and this really got me thinking. And it got me thinking that on today's My Take, we should dive into this and take a look at what we can expect from this new, larger, and well-armed enforcement division of the Democratic Party known as the IRS. Joe Biden could have increased our border patrol and finished President Trump's wall to stop all the drugs and human trafficking from pouring over. Yeah, absolutely, he could have. But why would he? I mean, the Democrats think illegal aliens will turn into Democratic voters at some point. And since Democrats are bleeding registered voters all over the country, they want as many illegal aliens as they can get streaming across the border. He could have opened trade schools on the corner of every liberal craphole city and given black Americans a real chance at hope and change. But he didn't do any of that. Joe Biden didn't do that, although I don't necessarily think that it's the place of government to create such things. That said, it is within the purview of the government to spearhead the movement to create them. And I think that's something Republicans need to get on board with. The fact of the matter is, not everyone needs to go to college, but America does need blue-collar workers. We need people who can weld, we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need diesel mechanics. We need workers who can build and maintain our infrastructure. Instead, Joe Biden took billions and expanded the IRS. That's right, the one government office that most Americans, despite their political beliefs, can agree that should be smaller and have less power. Joe Biden just expanded to be bigger than the U.S. Marines and probably equally as powerful. Okay, I'm not sure where she got that Marine statistic, because even if you add 87,000 IRS agents, the IRS workforce is still smaller than that of the U.S. Marines. But I get her point. And her point is 87,000 more agents for the IRS, an organization that can go to your bank and seize your funds whenever they want, and you're powerless to stop them. The IRS is authorized to use deadly force should you resist them. They can literally come to your house with an armed group, kick in your door, and forcibly drag you away from your family, away from your home, in chains. They can put you in prison for not complying with their demands. And if you resist them, if you try to defend yourself or fight back, again, they have the power to murder you in your own home if you resist. And Democrats want 87,000 more of them. Why? How many billionaires and millionaires do you think there are? And why did every single Democrat vote against restricting the IRS from auditing anyone making under $400,000 per year? It's curious, isn't it? Most of you will remember what it was like dealing with the IRS in the Obama era when they were targeting Tea Party patriots. There was this whole crew of IRS officials who were called out for targeting and ultimately destroying the Tea Party. And you won't believe who will now head up the hiring of all those new agents President Biden wants. PJ Media reported that Nicole Fax worked under Lois Lerner in the Obama administration IRS while the agency was infamously targeting conservative political organizations such as the Tea Party. They did so by slow walking and suppressing their tax-exempt applications. She was also one of 7 executives whose hard drives mysteriously self-destructed, preventing House investigators from viewing her emails. Now, this career IRS executive has been tapped to establish a new centralized office in charge of implementing the Democrats' latest tax and spending bill, including the oversight of the 87,000 new IRS agents the bill authorizes. If that doesn't scare the hell out of you, you aren't paying close enough attention. Well, you're not paying close enough attention, or you're just plain stupid. Nicole Flax is a woman who has used her position of authority to openly attack conservatives. And she's destroyed evidence to obstruct a House investigation into the IRS's actions. This is a woman who should be in prison. But instead, she's going to be setting up a new division of 87,000 IRS agents to target who exactly? IRS Commissioner Charles Rettig sent an agency-wide email on August 19th writing, quote, "This is a historic time for the IRS, and we are working to move quickly to begin work on the Inflation Reduction Act signed into law earlier this week." He then announced the new department. Quote, "A key part of our efforts will be the creation of a new centralized office for implementation of all IRS-related provisions. Building off our successes implementing other major legislative bills, the IRA 2022 Transformation and Implementation Office will work across the IRS and oversee our implementation efforts." Rettig revealed that Nicole Flax, current Deputy Commissioner in charge of Large Business and International Division, would be tasked with building the new centralized office. "We have a unique, once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform the IRS in a way to help taxpayers and fundamentally improve our tax administration work that is vital to the success of our country," Rettig's email quoted Flax as saying. "This is an exciting opportunity, and we'll be moving quickly with our work." This move coincides with Joe Biden demonizing MAGA and calling Trump voters semi-fascist. It's the same way Obama and his team demonized the Tea Party. Interesting how it always seems like the IRS becomes part of the battle when Dems are taking on powerful conservative movements. That is interesting, isn't it? Why does the left feel entitled to use the IRS, the Department of Justice, federal law enforcement as weapons against conservatives and against regular Americans? A better question might be, why do we keep allowing them to do it? How the hell do people on the left keep a straight face when they accuse conservatives and Republicans of being fascists, while their own party is violating the civil rights of Americans by unjustly and illegally using the power of the federal government to silence their critics? I said it before, the IRS, they're coming for you. And fascism? Fascism is already here. This is Joe Biden's America. You will comply, you will toe the party line, or you will be punished. That's my take. What's your take? You can let me know your take in the comments below. You can also let me know your take by joining the cult at Pol Pop Cult on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Rumble, and now Truth Social. Thank you for listening.